Essa Faal want to discredit anything about Yahya Jammeh. It's simple. He's a political animal. He wants to be the leader of that country. So whosoever did what, Ensa is not going to recognize that. Like any other opposition will not recognize. Even if you cut your flesh and give them, they will not recognize it because they want to be the leader.
So
Yahya Jammeh, let me come, Jammeh, with all what he did, that we are not, going into delve into partisan politics, but as a political science student, Yahya Jammeh tried to win the hearts and the minds of the people of the Gambia by bringing certain things that they've never seen in their entire life. One, the television services. Two, the University of the Gambia. Multiple, health facilities. Schools were abundantly established. No struggle. You would be educated comfortably in your own community. So if Essa Faal comes and tell me that the University of the Gambia is irrelevant, I'll tell him that it's just because you are looking for a political capital, a political point, because you want to be a leader of this country. Any other opposition is like that. You know in your heart that the government is doing something good, but the fact that you want people to trust you, to give you that responsibility, you discredit that. That's politics. In other words, a simple term is politics is allocation of authorities to an individual who in turn rules the affairs of the state. That's politics. Distribution of state resources. That's politics. So Ensa is saying what he said because he wants people to look down upon Yahya Jammeh's achievement. Just like Yahya Jammeh said, Jawara did nothing. And Jawara would say the colonial government did nothing. Adama Barrow will say, yeah, and the rest did nothing. He is the one doing everything. That's politics. We got to know the trajectory of our political history. But then the danger was that Ensa's remark was too much. It was devastating. But then it has been debunked, demystified by many people, on social media, to the point that the heat was too much for him. He had to come back and then said, look, guys, I am sorry. I did not mean what I said. But then he should have been, aware. He should have known better that he is an authority in the Gambia and that whatever he said, the international community will listen to him and is going to downgrade the Gambia in totality. Gambia students in Nigeria, in Sierra Leone, in Ghana.
Kawsu, yes. I'm surprised that you are admitting the good things that former President Yahya Jammeh did in terms of the University of the Gambia, from UEP to UTG. You are a card-carrying member of the NPP. But truth be told, when the university, since Jammeh left power for Equatorial Guinea in exile, the University of the Gambia has been graduating students year in, year out. No one has ever mentioned in their public ceremonies about the role Jammeh played. You are here coming out or being bold enough to admit what many of your NPP are not saying clearly.
Yes, it is wrong to be politically dishonest, despite we are all struggling to be given the responsibility to control that state. But we have to be honest. Gambians are known for being sincere and appreciative. Yahya Jammeh did a lot. Like I said, he brought those ones. You see, I don't want to delve much into politics, but we are looking at the infrastructure, which was not there before. And now, which one is there now? What was not there?
But why are you not delving into politics when you said in the beginning, from the onset, that Essa Faal is making a political capital? Now, there's no way we are talking politics. We have to.
Because Essa is the architect of that utterance. And it was devastating internationally. And Essa, as an individual, is a political element. Not only political element by the definition of Socrates, no, but then he's out partisan politics to ask the people, the electorates, to give him the responsibility to handle that country. But then he did not know how to do it. You cannot discredit what was happening, and it wasn't there. I was not going to go to high school. I was not going to go to high school, probably. But then I went to high school. But somebody else did not go to high school because the high schools were not there. They are very intelligent, but they couldn't go. Jammeh came, Yahya Jammeh came and built schools, high school, many high schools. Like I mentioned the high schools here, the O level, ordinary GCE O level, when that was happening, and the A level. Only few high schools. I said it. St. Peter's, Newsrat, ICE, this one, St. Joseph's, Banjul, Muslim, Gambia High School, St. Augustine's, Armitage, Nasir. These were the high schools. In the entire Badibu, no high school. In the entire Kiang, no high school. Yeah, Jammeh brought high schools now. Many people went to high school. He did not stop there. Yahya Jammeh went and then introduced the university extension program. It was tough for them, but then it worked. Now full-fledged University of the Gambia, MDI and then GTTI Gambia College were utilized. When we came to the University of the Gambia, 75% of the student population came to the Gambia College. That's where we had our lectures. So, yeah, Jammeh did that. He's not there. It does not mean we are saying that for people to accept that Yahya Jammeh did not do some other wrong things. I'm not going into that. I'm not a partisan politics as far as this interview is concerned, although I have a political ambition. But this interview is to, refuse and demystify what Essa Faal said about graduates from the University of the Gambia. It's dangerous. It was dangerously, put, because like I said, that's the truth. Your performance will determine whether you have entrance at any university in the United States, in Australia, in Canada, in New Zealand, in England. This is it, your performance. Because they set a standard that anybody who is coming to our university, you have to meet this standard. University of the Gambia set a standard. Some were forced to graduate because they did not have 2.5 at the University of the Gambia. So you don't have 2.5. You did not have 2.5. For example, you apply to Cambridge or Oxford, who are looking for 3.2 QPA. You think they will take you? No way. So that's why they are telling you that you need to meet the standard. In the United States, for example, I applied to several other universities. And then each one they would ask me is, we want your credentials evaluated so that we can compare it to the United States standard. And each time I did, I got an equivalent of the degree conferred on me by the University of the Gambia here in the United States. Mm-hmm. That's that. I apply as a teacher, qualified teacher. I applied for teaching position here in Atlanta, Georgia. They asked me to evaluate my credentials, which I did. I did it with Jesslyn Evaluation Incorporation this time around. And they send, I'm not involved. I only told the University of the Gambia, Office of the Registrar, send my credentials to this institution, this evaluation institution, which they did official, and they evaluated them. And I told them that send it to Fort Valley State University or send it to Georgia Department of Education, which they did. When they look at it, they told me, okay, Mr. Drammeh, yes, you have an equivalent of 2 bachelor's degree, 2. And that's true. Because when we were at the University of the Gambia School of Education, we had a bachelor's degree in education completely, which was compulsory, and a bachelor's degree in our specialized area, and a minor. So my minor was political science. So they told me that you have an equivalent of 3, 1 in education, in history, and a minor in political science. Now what you do is take the state exam, and we will give you your certificate to stand before any classroom in here, Georgia, and lecture. That's it. And I'm from the University of the Gambia. Okay, I came to St. Mary's College of Maryland, representing the University of the Gambia. 15 people, 8 ladies, 7 men, 1 black man. That's me. Come to study cultural anthropology. It should have been 6 months. I told my professor, I need an early exam. I took my exam and then passed. You know what? They asked me to lecture in that university, which I did for 2 weeks. And then I told them, take me back to the Gambia, and then I returned. I was from the University of the Gambia. So what Essa is saying is not true. I know it's not true. Many people know it's not true. But then the consequence of his remark is what we are trying to demystify.
Yeah, but finally now he has apologized. So we let bygones to be bygones, right?
Yes, but then we fear if Essa comes to power, anybody working in the civil sector will be dismissed because they are from the University of the Gambia and they are specialized institutions. Gambia College School of Education, Public Health, School of Agriculture, School of Nursing and Midwifery, School of Law, School of Business and Public Administration, School of Engineering and Technology. They are all under the University of the Gambia. So Essa said it's a substandard. So which means they were not accepted by the international community or recognized. If Essa becomes president, he will kick everybody out and bring people from other universities outside to come and work in the civil sector. Is that possible? No. So to cut the story, and then the litmus test paper was the UEP, University Extension Program, St. Mary's. That was tested, it worked. Yahya said, hey, look, you know what? Let me establish this university, which he did. Before, like I said, the sons of the groundnut farmers were very unlikely to go to high school because there were only few high schools that we scramble and struggle for. And then qualification was based on what you score at the common entrance. So the few privileged who were living in the urban areas, the Crown Colony areas, those kids went to high school. Banjul alone, how many high schools were there? St. Joseph's, Muslim, Gambia High School, St. Augustine's. Then you go to the greater Banjul area, St. Peter's, Nusrat, ICE. These were there. Then you go to the provinces, outside Brikama, up to Basse, you have Armitage. Then you have Nasir. Tahir is just coming yesterday. So these were the high schools we were struggling to go to. So the sons of those guys, the urban residents, had the privilege to go to these high schools based on the common entrance score. So the curriculum was still there to prepare Gambians. Upon completion, they would come and then join the civil service and the public service to help and they run the economy. Okay, when the university was established, it set standards. And these standards were 5 O-level credits, including English and mathematics. That's what the university requires. Now it's grade 12. 5 grade 12 was including English and mathematics, uncompromising. When we were at the University of the Gambia during the then Professor Mohammed Emoka, our system was in such a way that it was the American system, the grading system, the quality point grading system was like the American type. He even mentioned it all, and that he told us that by the time any one of you wants to go to outside this country to study postgraduate, especially in the United States, it's gonna be easy for you. And this is true. I went to the University of the Gambia. I studied there twice. I studied here in the United States. Before I was accepted here, my university requested from me my credential from my university to be evaluated here, which I did. And I did it with Globe Language Evaluation Incorporation. They sent it from the University of the Gambia. They sent my credential to them. I paid money. They evaluated it. And the result was that I had an equivalent of a bachelor's degree in history, a bachelor's degree in education, and a minor in political science. I was unconditionally accepted at Fort Valley State University, as we are talking. So it is wrong. It is not true. It is not correct.
On that note, thank you so much, Kawsu.
Thank you so very much, Ibrahim.
Thank you for the clarification and for the interview. Thank you.
All right, thank you.